Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Tour News 4 Report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. The UK uses its years of experience in the health sector to assist the Ministry of Health. Reducing criminal activity and protecting citizens among the many aims of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. And swearing in of councillors to various regional corporations taking place around Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for joining us. The United Kingdom is using its years of experience and success in the health sector to assist the Ministry of Health in its efforts to revamp the experience and level of service nationals are exposed to in public and private health institutions.
Trinidad and Tobago's health sector will soon be one that is advanced as the era we live in. The United Kingdom is expected to assist in this venture of revamping the health services through a memorandum of understanding between the Trinidad and Tobago government and its UK counterpart. On Tuesday, the UK Trade and Investment Division of the British High Commission to Trinidad and Tobago officially opened its two-day health trade mission at the Hyatt Regency. UK Trade and Investment helps UK-based companies succeed in the global economy and also assists overseas companies in taking their high-quality investment to the UK's economy. It offers expertise and contacts through its extensive network of specialists in the UK and in British embassies and other diplomatic offices around the world. At the opening, over 400 local healthcare professionals and stakeholders met with British agencies, manufacturers, suppliers and service providers across various spheres with the aim of enhancing the local health sector. Health Minister Dr. the Honourable Fuad Khan spoke of the MOU between both governments and the areas in which it would greatly assist Trinidad and Tobago.
Infrastructure, IT, patient development, technology, as well as equipment. This trade mission was prepared and long before that. However, it has come at an opportune time that we can now work with the High Commission and the UK government to develop our healthcare strategy, which you all know would be development of hospitals and putting healthcare into the future, which is technological future.
This country will retain the services of British companies in the gathering of medical records from patients and the securing of this information as the healthcare sector moves to digital records. Minister Khan said the objective is to promote a futuristic healthcare platform, and he noted the numerous opportunities that were available at the mini-exhibition. He spoke of the role that his ministry, the British government, the British High Commission and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have played thus far.
To develop a relationship so we can basically bring back what has been there in the past, which is the connection to the UK and Europe. Because one would understand the level of healthcare and the accreditation of British hospitals is international. So if we are going for medical tourism or medical training or developing our own cadre of specialists, we need to have accredited institutions. And the British institutions are accredited internationally. So it's just a matter of transferring that level of accreditation. So this will augur very well for that.
Minister Khan stressed the quality of products and services that can be found in the UK and said that Trinidad and Tobago would benefit greatly from the durability of products purchased from British companies. The second day of the trade mission continues with a meeting of the Caribbean Regional Public Health Authority, the Pan American Health Organization and the UK representatives at the British High Commission in Port of Spain to get a greater understanding of the health services landscape. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Reducing criminal activity and protecting citizens are among the many aims of the Government of Trinidad and Tobago. In this regard, resources have been placed in strategic areas. One such area is the training of new police recruits, and this was evident in the latest passing out parade of a newly batch of highly trained men and women.
The complement of police officers across Trinidad and Tobago has increased tremendously, with the passing out of 153 new recruits, 83 males and 70 females to be exact. after rigorous training in areas such as use of firearms, defensive tactics, driving, CPR, critical incident response, domestic violence, and law. The officers of the A to E squad were passed out at the ceremony held on October 31st at the Police Training Academy at the St. James Barracks, St. James. During the ceremony, the new policemen and women were awarded for performing outstandingly in several areas. PC John scored the highest in the subject criminal law. He was awarded the most disciplined rank. WPC Sonia Lal was the most disciplined female. WPC Afun gained the highest in the subject traffic law. She also gained the highest mark in the subject police duty, tying with PC Edwards, who came in second as the most physically fit male recruit. The passing out and inspection parade was in itself a high moment, as newly appointed Minister of National Security, the Honourable Gary Griffith, and Acting Commissioner of Police Stephen Williams did their maiden inspection of the troops. Acting Commissioner Williams told the new recruits that demands will be strong on them, urging that they always strive for excellence.
The police service today is undergoing tremendous changes, and you fit perfectly in our plans as we seek to lift the bar of performance in policing. The demands on you will be tremendous, but you need to stay strong, stay focused, keep in your consideration your oath. You need to serve the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago as police officers with pride.
Minister Griffith implored the new recruits to make Trinidad and Tobago proud even when they were out of uniform. He noted they were police officers all 24 hours of the day.
Make your police service, your friends, your family, and your country proud. Remember that you are not only a police officer when in uniform, but also you will be judged, and your service will be judged in your community, in your country, by what you do, even when not in uniform, as you are a police officer 24 hours a day. Training is also very important. I noticed there were several awards, and each and every award and every single thing you do as a police officer, continue to strive for perfection, whether it is in fitness, weapon training, and all the other skills that make you Trinidad and Tobago's finest. Keep the ultimate character of being a true patriot to your country. Use patriotism and loyalty to your country as precedent over anything else, including loyalty to friends. If something is wrong, do not turn a blind eye to it. And by doing this, you would stay on the right path.
Felicia Wilson-Mon, News 4.
When we come back, the swearing in of Tunapuna Piaku councillors. Stay with us. The Energy Ministry closed off its first onshore competitive bid round for 2013, receiving 11 bids for its 3 land-based blocks. The closure of this comes on the heels of the opening of a successful offshore bid round earlier this year. The Energy Minister, the Honourable Kevin Ramnarine, says this represents a strong heightened activity in the upward oil and gas sector.
11 bids were received for the first dedicated onshore bid round in 15 years in Trinidad and Tobago. The bids were received from 5 companies for 3 land-based blocks. This successful bid round follows on a successful 2012 deepwater bid round. The onshore bid round, which opened on May 16th and closed on October 31st, offered some 63,715 hectares of acreage in the country's southern basin, specifically the Rio Claro, St. Mary's and Ottawa blocks. The ministry received 3 bids for the Rio Claro block and 4 bids each for the St. Mary's and Ottawa blocks. In total, 17 data packages were sold for $40,000 each, resulting in some 4.4 million TT dollars in revenue. Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine described the 2013 onshore bid round as a success, as it attracted 11 bids from 5 companies on 3 blocks. He said the process took almost 2 years of planning and preparation. The 2013 onshore bid round is linked to government's policy to increase oil production and realize growth in the country's hydrocarbon reserves. The minister says present activity related to land-based oil production is very high, as there are 20 workover rigs in Trinidad and Tobago. All 20 are currently utilized, and there is a waiting list to use these workover rigs. Kimberly Calawan, News 4.
In other news, with the local government election now in the distance, the matter of swearing in of councillors to various regional corporations have been taking place around Trinidad and Tobago, while today it was the Tunapuna Piarco Regional Corporation's turn.
Irish political theorist and philosopher Edmund Burke once said, "Nobility is a graceful ornament to the civil order. It is the Corinthian capital of polished society." Example of this nobility was no doubt shown today as political differences and beliefs were put aside when former chairman of the Tunapuna Piarco Regional Corporation, Khadija Amin, attended the swearing-in ceremony of the new executive body to lead the corporation for the next 3 years. Although she did not speak, a smiling Amin greeted newly appointed vice chairman of the corporation, Esmond Ford, after he took his oath of office. The new chairman of the corporation is Mr. Edwin Gooding. In the local government election, the People's Partnership government won the Kuva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, Pinal Debi, Princestown, Rio Claro Mayaro, and Siparia Regional Corporations. The Chaguanas Borough Corporation is being shared by the PP government with 2 opposition parties. Felicia Wilson-Mon, News 4.
And also the new members of the Chaguanas Borough Corporation, they took their oath of office and they are ready to hit the ground running.
Too often we see residents of Trinidad and Tobago and citizens having to protest to have certain demands, basic demands met. And really that is the role and function of local government practitioners, to ensure that the needs of the people, the very basic needs, the box drains, the roads, the lights, local crime issues, those are the issues that you need to be very cognizant of and be on top of at all times.
There is a new council for the borough of Chaguanas that will continue to ensure the needs of the burgesses are met and projects are undertaken in the best interest of all involved. On Thursday, the new council was sworn in at the Chaguanas Borough Corporation Administrative Complex, a historic undertaking, as the members would be the first to occupy the recently outfitted building. Interim Mayor, His Worship Orlando Nagasa, quelled the worries of the new councillors, assuring that they would be working with a competent and capable staff.
In the council we have a combination of experience, and we also have some people who are there for the first time. I am sitting with a combination of the experience and the advice that will be coming from the CEO and other senior members of the council. Your navigation should be a smooth one.
He called on the new members to take their job seriously and not to allow burgesses to say that they would not see in their elected members.
If you accomplish, if you adhere to your duties and responsibility, if you serve your burgesses well, you will have no problem. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in some trouble.
The councillors taking the oath of office were Councillor for Charleville, Faiq Mohammed, Councillor for Canupia, Vandana Mohit, Councillor for Edinburgh, Longdenville, Janelle Joe, Councillor for Enterprise North, Esmeralda, Lisa Holder, Councillor for Enterprise South, Ronald Hira, Councillor for Felicity Endeavour, Debidine Manik, Councillor for Montrose, Momina Hussein, and Councillor for Monroe Road, Caroni Savannah, Simeon Mahabir. Taking up their new portfolios as aldermen in the Chaguanas Borough Corporation were Gopal Budan and Abin Phillips. Absent were aldermen Biran Rambaran and Sunil Ramjit Singh. CEO Ashmir Mohammed congratulated the new council and pledged his support and that of his staff.
What we also want to give to you is a pledge from the administration that we stand committed to working diligently alongside this new council as we continue to transform the Chaguanas Borough Corporation from a borough to a city hall. Again, on behalf of myself, the administrative staff, I want to reiterate our commitment. We are public officers, and we work with whoever sits in the hall, and we work professionally, diligently, and assiduously to execute all legal mandate and resolutions of the council.
Next on the agenda for the Borough Corporation of Chaguanas is the selection of a mayor, which is expected to take place in the near future. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Sport is up right after the break. Stay with us. While football holds the spotlight in our News 4 Sportcast, Club Sando continues to hold on to a 1-point lead over Guaya United at the top of the Blink B Mobile National Super League. The Southerners faced a stern test on match day 16 against third-place Malabar FC and passed with flying colours. Wayne Cunningham has the details.
Malabar FC had their eyes on the top of the table in the National Super League going into their match with leaders Club Sando. And they looked the part in the second minute when Hayden Tinto opened the scoring for the third-place Easterners. Sando had goalkeeper Andre Marchand to thank for keeping the deficit at 1 as Malabar threatened once again. Anthony Street's men kept their composure though and responded in the best possible fashion in the 19th minute. Their captain, Tiba McKnight, hooking in the equalizer. Both teams had chances for the go-ahead goal, but that did not come until just before the halftime whistle. Ryan Fredericks making it 2-1 Club Sando in the 45th minute. 15 minutes into the second half, parity was restored as Kevin Woodley scores Malabar's second. That equality lasted all of 8 minutes. Kieran Smith notching what would turn out to be the winner for Club Sando. McKnight did score his second of the match in the 90th minute, but that was icing on the cake. Club Sando staying top with a 4-2 win over Malabar FC. Elsewhere around the league, Guaya United kept pace at the top with a 5-0 thrashing of Stokely Vale FC. A hat-trick from Kevin Jagdeo Singh and a brace from Jody Alsop accounting for the massive score in Tobago. Real Maracas also had a handsome win to continue their climb up the table. They defeated another Tobago team, 1976 FC Phoenix, 3-1 to move into 5th place. Their goals coming from Jahan Hernandez and Dylan Bartholomew. Christopher Morgan scored for Phoenix. The other Tobago squad, Bethel United, had much better fortunes with a 3-1 win over Westside Superstars. Akim Baines, Akil Scott and Karen Williams were the scorers for Bethel as they climbed out of the relegation zone into 10th spot, while Christian Freitas got the lone item for the Northerners. In the bottom half of the table, the Defence Force and Superior Spurs played to a 1-1 draw and now occupy 11th and 9th places respectively. Defending champions Wassa FC continue to struggle as they stay in 12th position following a 2-1 loss to fellow Easterners Joe Public FC. Wassa grabbed a 25th minute lead through Fabian Garcia, but careless play in the second half caused them the match as substitute Ricardo Bennett changed the game with a goal and an assist to move the Eastern Lions into 6th. The teams now take a break from league competition to match skills with their pro league counterparts as the Toyota Classic is set to kick off on the weekend. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
Thank you very much, Wayne. News 4 continues right after the break. Stay with us. All work and no play makes Jack and Jill dull boys and girls. Well, that's why the staff at GISL took some time to host one of its most anticipated staff events recently. And we want to check this out right now and see exactly what we had to offer with GISL's Chowdown.
Culinary skills at the Government Information Services Limited were put to the test at the 3rd annual Staff Chowdown competition. The daily tasks of the state agency were spiced up on Thursday as the various departments of GISL brought out their creativity, team spirit and taste buds with the intention of taking home the Chowdown Challenge trophy. The teams had to prepare their fruits and special ingredients on the spot and set up their stations to mimic their chosen themes. Each group presented 3 chows, without pepper, medium pepper and hot. The first team to present was the Finance Department with their theme Pirates of the Chowdown. The members of that department were clad in bandanas and pirate outfits, even a parrot to complete the entire look. Next, it was on to the Isle of Tropical Dingole, where the judges were treated to a paradise and told that their dreams, if any, would be granted.
We would like to invite you to the Isle of Tropical Dingole. Welcome.
The third team stepping up to the plate was the Marketing and Communications Department with their The Idol Party or DIP presentation. They distributed party cards and took to the political platform to promote their chow.
And today we present the new vision of chow in Trinidad and Tobago.
However, the Information Resources Department used special effects and a song system to amplify their Too Young for Chow presentation, where they mimicked soca artist Marshall Montano and even sang about chow. Last but certainly not least was the News Department with Hawaii 4-0.
Who awakes me from my slumber?
The winners of the 2012 competition brought their A-game as they sought to defend their title. The presentation began with an endearing skit that had members of staff rolling in stitches. The department presented a calm volcano chow, a medium, and an active or hot volcano chow that the judges tasted to their delight. Then, it was the moment of truth. The judges deliberated and came back with the results of the competition.
It has been decided after much deliberation that 3rd place in this year's Chowdown goes to the Marketing and Communications Department with their D-Idol Chow. In 2nd place, we have the IR Department. And in 1st place, and the winner of the Challenge Trophy, we have the News/Production Department.
We just came first, we just won back our Challenge Trophy. Newsroom, we are number 1 always.
And we're going after the 3rd year.
Yeah!
The News Department received their well-deserved prize and promised another comeback at the 2014 GISL Chowdown competition. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
And I'm still waiting on my chow. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.